Seattle, Washington. Brought to you by Columbia 300, home of the light dot, the white dot, the world-famous yellow dot, and the all-new U dot. And by your neighborhood True Value Hardware store. And by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Pacific Northwest. I'm Irv Brown. This is our second stop on the PBA Summer Tour. We're in Seattle. The weather is hot. The bowlers are hot. This is going to be good. I'm working with Frank Ellenberg, a PBA member bowler for 12 years, a former ABC Masters champ. We may make a new career for you tonight, Frank.
That'd be very nice, Irv. It was exciting last night. I was watching the final match, and they told me that Mike Durbin was going to make the show. And when they said he was going to make the show, they asked me to do the color, and I was ecstatic.
I like people that are ecstatic. All right, Frank, you've bowled all week long. Tell us about the lane conditions.
Well, Irv, the scores are moderate this week. It took a 208 average to make the first cut, or excuse me, to make the cash this week. It took a 213 average to make the finals. These are the 5 that seem to conquer the conditions the best, and that's why you're going to watch them today.
There are no left-handed bowlers in the 5 finalists. Is there a reason for that?
Well, the lane conditions weren't too conducive to this week on the left, Irv. You'll probably see some of the lefties in the next few weeks to come.
All right, last week in Denver, we had great scores up until Wednesday night, the TV night. A lot of people suggest that the television lights are very hot. They do something to the lanes. Do you share that opinion?
Most definitely. Sometimes the lights can get up to 110 degrees on the lane surface, and what this does, it tends to dry out the head area, the first 20 feet of the lanes, which makes the bowlers throw a little harder in order to get a good ball reaction. This makes for scoring to be a little tougher.
All right, we'll watch that closely. We have some great names bowling tonight, 5 of the top bowlers on the PBA circuit. We want to take a look at those 5 people, and here they are. We start out with a pretty good one.
Marshall Holman, unbelievable. He's mellowed out a little bit in the last few years as he's gotten older. Great competitor, one of the first bowlers ever to win 10 titles at the age of 24 years old. Can be extremely aggressive, very tough on TV. He's a very flamboyant player. You have to get ahead of him early.
Mike Durbin is up next.
Most definitely Mike Durbin, one of the greatest bowlers ever. By evidence of his 14 titles, he's won 3 TFCs.
Jimmie Pritts is the guy that is the 3rd spot.
Jimmie Pritts. To me, I call Jimmie the master of the hand releases. He can conquer almost any condition with what he can do with his hand release.
Then we have Wayne Webb.
Wayne Webb, the green machine. A very aggressive player, extremely tough if he gets ahead of you in the match. To me, one of the toughest clutch bowlers ever. If he gets ahead of you or if he needs a strike to win the match, it could be extremely tough, and you might be waiting in the wings to bowl next week.
Number 1 is Dennis Jacques.
Dennis Jacques. Dennis is looking for his 2nd PBA title. Dennis is not eligible for the Firestone Tournament of Champions. He needs a win today to qualify for the Tournament of Champions. Also, Dennis, if he wins, has also told me that he is going to donate some of his earnings to cystic fibrosis.
All right, that's the lineup. Frank and I will be back to take a look in depth at our bowlers right after this message.
After years of research, the high-tech laboratories of Columbia 300 have created the most advanced urethane bowling ball ever made, the 100% urethane Columbia 300 U-Dot. The extraordinary U-Dot solves the inherent problems of lope and wobble. Its devastating pin power and superior lane control characteristics are unequaled. If you bowl to win, the Columbia 300 U-Dot is the ultimate weapon. It's like no ball ever made before. Sold only in Lanes and Pro Shop.
We've got what it takes, true value. We've got what it takes. We've got what it takes to make it easy. We've got what it takes to make it good.
During June, get the Master Electrician Trouble Light for just $4.49. Look for the Hardware Value of the Month banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
We've got what it takes, true value.
This Bud's to everyone who tackles the changes and challenges of that new promotion.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you for all you do.
Yet just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, hey, this one's for you.
Hey, Bobby, toss me the flashlight. Here, catch.
One reason why a Durbin flashlight is so dependable is because it's so incredibly rugged. Another reason is it comes with Duracell batteries that'll work, even after lying around unused for 2 years.
I can't believe you threw that.
You said toss me the flashlight.
Durbin from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
The bowler who qualified in the 5th spot, one of the most colorful bowlers of all time. Talking about Marshall Holman. Tell me about Marshall.
Well, Irv, Marshall is one of the most aggressive players that I've ever seen on tour. What he's done in the past 3 or 4 years, he's learned to control his aggression a little bit. His attitude has improved tremendously. What he's done by improving his attitude is develop consistency. He's cashed in 12 out of 14 tournaments bowled this year. He could be awfully awesome today.
Needed a clutch mark last night in the last game against Freddie Martin, and he came through. Mike Durbin normally is to my left during the broadcast, but he has had a fantastic week. He's bowling.
Mike has bowled extremely well this week. The conditions have been very conducive to Mike's game. Mike is a down and in player. He seemed to develop a lot of consistency this week, made good shots. He's a stroker. If he gets lined up on this pair of lanes, he could be just tremendous today.
Mike Durbin is one of those people that just has his life in order. Everything he does is organized. He's one of the great clutch players of all time. Jimmie Pritts is an interesting story. He's got a bad leg. He's taken a muscle relaxer. It really hasn't bothered him.
Well, that's true, Irv. Jimmie made the finals last week in Denver. He had to withdraw out of the finals in the last block. He pulled a groin muscle. He's taken some pills this week, some muscle relaxers. He's taken a few hot baths. He's got the leg in shape again. I said before, Jimmie has a lot of desire and a lot of will to win, and he is a master of the releases. He's tremendous when it comes to hand release. He can make the ball do what he wants it to do.
It's interesting. Jimmie Pritts learned the game from his father, also from a guy named Billy Webb. That just happens to be Wayne Webb's brother. Wayne Webb is a second qualifier in this tournament. Tell me about Wayne.
Wayne Webb, the Green Machine. Wayne's won 16 times. Tremendous bowler in the clutch. One of the best bowlers I've ever seen. He has great hand action. He has charisma also. He has the will to win, and believe me, he knows how to win. He could be extremely tough today.
One of the great clutch players, and he does have that killer instinct. He does not just throw the ball and walk back and sit down. You're going to enjoy watching him. Well, that leaves the one they're all shooting at, Dennis Jacques. I think I would rather tickle a lion's backside than fool with Dennis Jacques. You tell me about Dennis.
Definitely, Irv. I think Dennis throws one of the strongest balls I've ever seen in my career out here on tour. He is what you call an intimidating figure. Sometimes I don't know if you'd rather fight him than bowl him or bowl him than fight him, but he's tremendous. He's intimidating, and if he starts striking in that last match, he's going to be back in that Firestone, and he's going to be out of that Rabbit squad, which he so desires so much.
All right, that'll set the scene. The best match of the evening might be the first one. Holman going against Durbin. The action coming up right after this message.
American Express presents Do You Know Me? A look at the lives and careers of famous athletes. This week's American Express sports personality took Grambling to the 1961 NAIA title. Then, as his second-round pick in the NBA draft, he played to the tune of a Rookie of the Year in 1965. You'll meet him after this word from American Express.
Do you know me? It's frightening how many novels of suspense I've written. But still, when I'm not recognized, it just kills me. So instead of saying I wrote Carrie, I carry the American Express card. Without it, isn't life a little scary?
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Do you know this week's American Express sports personality? He was selected to the NBA All-Star team 7 times and was voted MVP in 1970. The 6'10" center averaged 21 points per game that season and was named the MVP in the playoffs of both Knicks title victories. He went on to coach the Knicks and Creighton University following his retirement. He's Willis Reed, this week's American Express sports personality.
Dad, send the money by noon, or you won't be coming to my graduation in June.
Send the money today, or your father and I couldn't be washed away. Darling, I've run into a little trouble. Could you send $150 on the double?
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 9,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
That's okay. I'll get the door.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
Well, along with $17,000, this is what the winner gets. This is the trophy for the $115,000 Seattle Open. And our first match, Marshall Holman against Mike Durbin. They're still practicing. How many practice shots do you get now, Frank?
Well, Irv, you get 4 shots in the 2 starting lanes prior to each match. They're still practicing right now. They've got 3 more each.
It's interesting. Marshall Holman went out and bowled a 76, or a shot of 76 in golf. He's a 5 handicapper. He isn't too concerned about tonight.
No, he sure isn't. He's very, very loose today, and being loose has to be an advantage, especially when you're on TV.
He will get all he wants from Mike Durbin. This is a classic matchup. Durbin, a down and in player. You made the good comment at the start as we see the traditional handshake that Holman has great hand action. He really impressed me last night. Was not in Denver last week, so my first chance to see him this year. His hand action is extraordinary.
He's phenomenal. He can make the ball talk. He's unbelievable. He throws one of the biggest hooks on tour, and if he gets lined up, he can sure string him.
Marshall Holman. His nickname's Marsh Holman Bowman. Leaves a 7.
He hit a little bit high there, Irv. Ball got a little high, the 2-pin went around, hit the sideboard, knocked the 7 down, left the 4-pin.
Left the 4. Let me correct myself. Not the 7. Marshall Holman.
Should be an easy spare for Marshall.
And he's got it. So Frankie marks in the first frame. Of course, I don't think any bowler is happy unless they get the X, the strike. You saw his
definitely,
his
but that's the second best thing you can do, Irv, is make that spare. It's very important in today's game.
This is Mike Durbin. And he's got great experience. Looks good.
Very good shot.
Oh, boy. Mike Durbin. He's something. I had a chance to talk to him earlier, and I asked Mike if he was deserting me this week.
Irv, I'm not deserting you this week. It's just that I happened to get a little bit hot this week, find a shot that I liked, and happened to qualify in 4th place. So I hope that I can stay out there long enough to get my brow a little moisture and work up a sweat and win a few games.
Well, I don't blame him. Do you, Frank?
Not whatsoever. I'd love to be out there with him.
Wife Debbie back home watching from Chagrin Falls, Ohio. 3 children, Mike, Matthew, and Christine.
Threw it a little slow. Left the 6, 7, 10.
Is this a makeable
Most
split?
definitely, or I'd say the shot for a pro to make, it might be 6, 7 to 1. Definitely has an opportunity to make this.
All right, let's see if Durbin can pick it up. A man who has total concentration. I said hello to him last night. He said, I have no time for you. I'm concentrating. I like that.
He definitely gets into the game, Irv.
All right, so he's open in the second. Holman on a +12.
Holman's 12 ahead, sitting on the bench. That has to be a good feeling for him, Irv.
We're bowling on lanes 27 and 28. Leilani lanes here in Seattle. First prize, $17,000. In order, $9,000, $7,000, $5,500, $4,000 for the loser of this match on a spare.
Also made a good shot.
He has got a huge following here. He's from Medford, Oregon, now Jacksonville, Oregon, and Marshall Holman with a spare and a strike. +12 if you score along with us.
You don't want to get behind Marshall in a one-game match, Irv.
He has really turned it around with the fans. You can see the difference. They did not like him when he first started out on the tour. Now he's a crowd pleaser.
Definitely. He's mellowed out, like I said earlier. His attitude and aggression have calmed down, and he puts it to his use now.
All right, third frame. It's on a strike.
Good shot, Irv. Oh.
So he leaves the 4. Hey, the crowd really getting into this thing. I like that. Does that help you when you're out there?
Oh, really? It pumps you up. It makes your drive increase. Should be another easy spare for Marshall. Still be ahead by 12 with the spare.
And it looks good, and it is. So he's perfect thus far with 2 marks. Down 12, Mike Durbin. Mike has won with 3 steps, 4 steps, and 5 steps. Have we had anyone else who's ever done that?
Never in the history of the game. He's an unbelievable talent. Do so many things with his body.
I watched him go against Ozio last night, and he plays every percentage when he shoots.
Definitely. Threw it a little slow.
Yeah, a little high.
A little bit slow. 3-6-10. Very makeable spare for Mike.
Remember, he was open in the second, going against Marshall Holman. Mike Durbin rolled a 279 earlier in the week. He had 9 in a row going against Mark Williams, who we saw last week in Denver.
That's right. He also had 9 in a row earlier in the year on TV. And by the way, True Value gives $25,000 to any pro bowler shooting 300 on TV.
Picks up the 3-6-10, so he marks in the third. When you talk to Mike, he'll tell you that he's been bowling forever, but his coach is Bill Taylor. It was a great deal to Bill as far as tempo, and he's just so smooth.
Seems like whenever Mike has any problems with his game, he either calls Bill or he goes out to Los Angeles and works with him for a couple of days, and he always seems to get his game back in shape.
All right, spare working, 4th frame, down 12.
Threw a good shot there, Irv. Left lane seems to be hooking a little more for both players. Mike went high in the 2nd frame there and high again in the 4th. Marshall also went a little high to leave those 2 4-pins in the left lane.
Needs to pick up the 3-6 here to mark. Holman is up 14. All right. And he's got it. All right, down 14 is Durbin. Holman will have his shot. Can he continue this pace? He's perfect thus far. We'll find out when we come back.
Friendly Ford, Nevada's truck headquarters, has real deals on the #1 selling trucks in America. Rangers for only $399 down and $109 a month. Fully loaded V8 Ranger XLs with air conditioning for just $399 down and only $159 a month. Full-size F-Series with a high-output V8 engine, air conditioning, automatic transmission, dual tanks, power steering, and brakes for the low price of $399 down and just $179 a month. And tough Bronco 2 4x4s with air conditioning for only $399 down and $199 a month. At Friendly Ford, the price crusher on North Decatur.
Dimension Cable's picture-perfect summer continues with sizzling programs for your entire family. Who can resist the lovable Miss Piggy, Benji, or the Berenstein Bears? Name a sports fan who would pass up ringside, gridiron, and center court action. Or anyone who doesn't enjoy foot-stomping, chart-topping, show-stopping entertainment, or blockbuster premiere films. There's something for everyone all summer long on Dimension Cable. Tune in now. Dimension Cable. It's going to be a picture-perfect summer.
Boy, there's some incentive if you roll a perfect game, a 300 game, $25,000, Frank, courtesy of True Value. The last one to do it on national TV.
Jim Stefanich.
All right, so
in Alameda in 1974.
That is the incentive, and hopefully it's going to happen one of the 12 weeks. A look at the 85 money leaders. We saw Mike Albee last week.
Pete Weber in 2nd place. Wayne Webb, who just went over 100,000 this week. Mark Williams also went over 100,000 this week.
Big fellas coming right along as we continue a look at some of the people. I saw David Ozio down in 8th place, saw him last night. I'm impressed with his delivery. He a down and in player that throws it very effectively.
He's definitely a very good bowler. Finally came into his own this year. Starting to bowl extremely well, won his first title.
Steve Cook, we talked about him. He had to withdraw because of an illness in the family. Don Janello tried to defend his title. It didn't work out this week here in Seattle, but he's an excellent bowler. There's the numbers on Don.
Don had a 300 game this week. Don finished 9th.
Hey, there's a familiar face.
Steve Martin, the alternate this week.
And you might explain, the alternates must stick around until one ball is bowled. Is that correct?
Right. One shot is thrown, and Steve is no longer needed.
I saw him in a film. Steve has changed his appearance a little bit. Let's pick up Holman.
Well.
All right, on a spare, fourth frame.
Another good shot by Marshall.
Oh, the crowd loves it. 2 4 frames, 2 spares, 2 strikes, and he leads by 14 over Mike Durbin. Marshall Holman, great hand action. He's got a book coming out. Marshall Holman on competitive bowling. I think I'd pick that up if I wanted to. And I'm not doing a PR thing for Holman, but he's a pretty good competitor.
I think so. I don't think they come any more competitive than Marshall.
This is his 76th national telecast. That's amazing.
Right, that's
and his
third.
record in what he wants it to be on TV.
It's 45 and 60.
All right, strike working, 5th frame.
Gave it a little more room this time. Good shot. Oh,
all right, a Pete Weber shot.
Got that messenger pin to come across the lane.
Let's take another look, Frank.
Yes, you'll notice he gives it a little bit more room on this delivery. A little bit more room. The ball comes in late. The head pin goes to the sideboard here. Comes back across the lane. We call that the messenger, and gets the 10. Puts him up 24 pins in the match.
And look at that reaction. That's what I love about this guy.
Mike definitely needs to make some good shots here.
On a spare.
A little bit high. 3-6-9. Tough spare simply because of the 9 pin in the back.
So Mike Durbin, who is going against Holman, been perfect through 5, must pick this spare up to stay in contention.
Mike is also using a wrist device, and he uses it only for the first ball. It makes him hook it too much of his spares, so he takes it off in between shots.
Picks it up.
Covered the spare perfectly.
Picks it up, 3 spares in a row now for Mike. He needs a strike. The story, down 27 pins, Mike Durbin.
Right, Mike's going to have to get it going here pretty soon. Marshall's ahead in the match, 27 pins. He can't let him get any further ahead.
Durbin was a good quarterback in high school. Also played basketball and baseball. Look at the grip. And let you describe it.
Fingertip grip. Puts his fingers in first, which you should always do, and then the thumb. More room this time. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent shot.
Mike Durbin, and he's got a bad ankle, Frank. He turned an ankle over in the ABC Masters, and it's still a little tender. Right. All right, Marshall Holman, a double working in the 6th.
Marshall's can increase his lead to 37 pins with a strike here, Irv. Win today puts Marshall over that $100,000 mark again.
Looks good.
Excellent shot.
There's a 3-bagger going for the excitable Marshall Holman. He owes a great deal to Jerome Lee from Medford, along with Andy Anderson. They really taught him how to bowl, but Lee is the one Marshall will credit with the style that he actually stole. And it's a great style. His tempo is what impresses me.
Very good tempo. He's created so much consistency in the past few years. Just unbelievable. He can go ahead 47 here with a strike.
Crowd very much behind him. 3-bagger going in the 7th.
Another good shot. Oh, no.
Leaves a 7-pin.
Very good shot. Solid 7.
We asked Marshall about his bowling goals. He says to be named PBA Player of the Year. I like what he had to say about practice games. He says, as few as possible. I have the feeling, since he went out and played golf today, that he is strictly a gamer. Practices for cowards.
He and Mike Durbin are both the same.
All right, he picks up the spare. He's up 36. Durbin needs to make a run. Can it happen? He's 36 down. Stick with us and find out. We'll be back right after this message.
What kills your muffler? Rust. Rust that can start on the inside and eat its way through. Now there's a muffler that helps stop this problem. The new Walker Advantage with a revolutionary rust inhibitor, Absorbite, that actually absorbs internal moisture. The inside of this muffler was not protected with Absorbite. This muffler was. You can see the difference. The new Walker Advantage. It puts rust at a disadvantage.
Warranted at service outlets and auto parts stores where you see this sign.
This tugboat crew has a plan, and they begin by digging into those 2 scoops of plump, juicy raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Hooked up and in command, they're working now, but they're thinking how they love 2 scoops and golden flakes of bran. 2 scoops, they're turning back again for 2 scoops of plump, juicy raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Now with even more raisins, even harder to resist.
2 scoops.
Television's best sports are on ESPN tomorrow. Speed Week leads off with a fast-paced half hour of auto racing highlights from around the world. Thursday night boxing is up next. You'll see a fantastic Superbout, plus live coverage of the ESPN Soloflex Heavyweight Championship. All tomorrow.
Friday, bowling's summer season's in full swing on ESPN at the Budweiser Hall of Fame Tournament. Our action-packed schedule strikes again Friday.
Welcome back. Herb Brown, Frank Ellenberg up in Seattle, and it's a nice crowd here tonight. And it's warm outside, Frank, and yet the people have turned out. It's just a very enthusiastic crowd to watch this first match. Mike Durbin and Marshall Holman. The announcers for this telecast were selected and paid by ESPN after consultation with the Professional Bowlers Association. Okay, Durbin with a strike going. He's down 36. You mentioned something about there's a little bit of a distraction over here.
We've got, we seem to have a couple of people that stepped onto the lanes to the left of Mike, which really distracted his shot. So he got off the lane, which everybody should always do if you have somebody that distracts you or something.
All right, 7th frame action. Strike going for Mike Durbin. He is down 36. He needs something very positive to happen.
He has to strike here. It's imperative.
Looks good.
Yes. Shot.
Was there ever a doubt about that one?
Never a doubt from the moment he let it go.
Down 26.
He can cut the lead to 16 pins, Irv, with a strike here.
That's what's so interesting about bowling. And once again, you're talking to a bad 150 bowler, but you think something is locked. Boy, that changes quickly if you can string together a triple.
Definitely, especially in this game. This game changes. It's like the weather. You can be 30 ahead, and 2 frames later, you can be 15 or 20 behind.
All right, on a double. Durbin, 8th frame action from Seattle.
Big shot here, Irv. He made a great shot. Oh, tremendous.
Did he ever?
Fantastic. He needed it. Very good
form is incredible. All right, so the pressure goes a little bit to Marshall's side now. That's 3 in a row for Durbin. Down 16. On a spare, 8th frame action, Marshall Holman. He's 5'9", 140 pounds. Jacksonville, Oregon.
You see how Marshall responds to the pressure Mike's starting to put on him. Good shot.
Did he stay down?
Excellent shot.
Oh, what a shot. Did he stay down when he had to have one? He is still perfect. Does not have an open through 8 frames. He is up 16.
He can increase that leader to 26 pins with a strike here in the 9th.
9th frame is every bit as important as the 10th.
Definitely very important. Key frame.
2nd re-rack, you're allowed 3. We saw Mike Albee have a major problem in Denver last week. That's very important to a professional bowler, that he gets a decent rack. It wasn't too major. He did win.
Oh, he got it back. Look at that aggression. Look at that aggression. He increased his lead to 26 with that strike.
Take a look. The body language was working all the way.
Stays down. Goes through the shot, long extension through the shot, gets the ball right, a lot of lift on it. Ball's coming back, just swishes the rack. We call that the swisher on tour. Parts the pins.
Mentioned off the wall, Dick Weber made that shot famous, I would assume. And
definitely the wall shot.
All right, Durbin at a 233 clip.
Must strike here. Must strike to stay in the match.
Once again, great concentration. I liked it last night when he wouldn't even say hello to me. I like that.
Definitely.
Does he still have a chance?
Oh, he definitely does have a chance. In fact, if he strikes out in the 9th and 10th, he could actually take the lead by 4 pins.
All right, 3-bagger going, 9th frame. Mike Durbin.
Strike here, good shot, good shot.
Oh, jumps up and leaves a 4.
A little bit light. He must make this spare, Irv, and he must strike out in the 10th to have any chance to win this match.
And he's got that.
He's covered the spare.
So he's covered. He is down 27. Look at some of the crowd here in Seattle.
Must get 3 strikes in the 10th here, Irv, to have a chance to win the match. And he has to hope for disaster on Marshall Holman's behalf.
Well, you talk about disaster. Mike won against Mike Edwards in the tournament, and it came down to a 4-9. And it meant a win for Mike Durbin.
Many things. He must strike on this ball, Irv.
Good release. Is it?
Right.
A little light.
A little bit light.
His count is 180 in the 9th. Two-5 pickup. Let's see if Mike Durbin can pick it up.
Shouldn't be any problem for him to make this spare.
Smooth release, and he has it.
Very nice.
Once again, 10th frame action.
It's just about over, Irv. It looks like that Marshall's just going to have to keep behind the foul line and just get a few pins on his next shot to be the winner in this match and move on against Jimmie Pritts.
Marshall Holman does have a double working art here. This is Mike Durbin. And he leaves the 10.
199 for Mike.
So Mike Durbin with a 199. And Marshall Holman just needs to step up and pretty much keep it in the bowling.
Right. All he's got to do, Irv, is just let it go and stay behind the foul line.
He has been tough. He does not have an open.
He is the winner.
All right, and he gives you that. All the actions. Marshall Holman says it wasn't pretty, but I'll take it.
Needs one more striker to put himself in the 240s.
He is tough.
He's only bowled 1 game on this pair in the finals. And he bowled a 200 game on this pair. If he makes this spare, he'll shoot 238.
Needs the 4-pin to shoot the 238. His average this week, Frank, is 216. His 1985 average is 213.
Right, he's #1 in average this year. He's the leading average.
And he's got it. A solid 238 for Marshall Holman. And he is the winner. He will advance and take on Jimmie Pritts. An excellent performance by Marshall Holman. All right, Holman the winner. He's got more work ahead of him. He's got to win 3 more. Next up for him, Jimmie Pritts Jr. Stick around. This is going to get to be some fun.
I'm here to tell you all you get by ordering Sports Illustrated now.
And I'm here to make sure he gets it right. Get it right.
Yes, sir. Mr. Alzado. Sports Illustrated not only gives you unbeatable weekly football coverage, they'll knock you over with their big 1985 college and pro football spectacular. And it is spectacular.
Go on.
It's filled with football. Full-color football. A bright look at the players and teams and the games they play. It's a lot of great stuff you don't find anywhere else. But you can get it all by calling this toll-free number, 1-800...
Wait a second. Don't give them that number yet.
But they need the number if they're going to call.
Not until you tell them everything they get.
You get the famous Sportsman of the Year double issue and the annual swimsuit issue. As always, a beautiful preview of what's new under the sun. And it's all yours. And by ordering now, you get 40% off the cover price.
Give them 50.
50?
Well, almost 50.
Okay. You get almost 50% off the cover price. So you'll get 30 issues at the low basic rates, payable in 3 monthly installments of only $9.89. So every week, no matter what the sport, you'll get the timely, colorful coverage that only Sports Illustrated can give you. What more could you want? Just call this toll-free number.
Give him this, too.
Free?
Free.
You also get free this handy 1985 NFL football schedule. So
and this?
They get this great pair of binoculars, too?
Do what I say.
So call now, and you also get these sporty, high-quality binoculars.
Free.
Free with your paid subscription. They're perfect for getting closer to football or anything else you want to get close to. And they're free. Oh, and so is this handsome carrying case from Sports Illustrated. Not only do you get a lot of football, you get a lot more.
But to get it, you better call now.
I do what he says.
Call now. 1-800-221-3200.
Frank, this was the key shot in the ninth. Mike Durbin needed this strike.
Definitely needed to get this strike to have any kind of a chance at all to win the match. Threw it a little bit right of target. Didn't quite have enough lift on it, and the ball hits light, and he leaves the 2-5 spare.
That was the key shot, as you mentioned, but Holman with no open, 7 strikes. He gets the job done. The story, 238, yes, 238 to 199. So we have our winner in the first game. It is Marshall Holman. Next week, we got another good one going, Frank. We'll be at another stop on the PBA Summer Tour. Live coverage of the $125,000 Kessler Open will be in Dublin, California. Right. Your old buddy, Earl Anthony, he can still bowl it up a little bit, can't he?
Most definitely can. He didn't bowl at all last year, and he won the Masters in '84. He bowled no tournaments whatsoever. He's got a gorgeous bowling center there, and all the players are looking forward to going back to the Kessler.
All right, let's take a look at the 1985 leading averages and just what is going on the PBA. This is the Summer Tour. Got some people that have some things going.
Right, you're looking at them right here. One of them, Marshall Holman, he's leading in average with 213.4. David Ozio is closing in behind. He's only a few percentage points back.
Look at Wayne Webb.
Wayne Webb, you'll see him today in the next 2 matches.
How about Mark Roth? When will we see Mark? He's a little bit under the weather. Will he be down in Las Vegas? Is that correct?
He's going to be in Las Vegas. He sprained his ankle during the break. They didn't know if he was going to be able to bowl. He called Marshall and told him he would be at the doubles tournament in Las Vegas.
All right, some of the others, Mark Baker. We talked about Pete McCordick from Houston, Texas. There's a lot of young prospective bowlers out there that idolize these gentlemen. Still warming up. Match 2, no rest for Marshall Holman. He got the big win when he rolled at 238 at Mike Durbin, who had it at 199. But now Jimmie Pritts. Jimmie Pritts, an interesting guy. I watched him last night. He seems to get everything possible out of what he has going for him. I was impressed with his bulldoggedness.
There's no doubt about it. He's got, like I said before, he's got many different releases. He can hold the ball high, he can hold the ball low, he holds it inside of his body, outside of his body. He's tremendous when it comes to, he has a lot of natural instinctive abilities that a lot of the other players don't have. He's also very aggressive. He wants to win probably more than anybody out there right now, Irv.
At stake, $17,000 for first. Marshall Holman, by beating Mike Durbin. Durbin picks up $4,000. The loser of this match will receive $5,500. What's interesting, we talk a lot, and it's a cliche about playing with pain. Pritz is playing with pain. He's got a very bad leg. He pulled a muscle. He is on a muscle relaxer. Anybody who's ever been on that, it makes you a little lightheaded. It's a tough situation. He cracked the bone, if I remember right, a year ago in his wrist, and he's just, maybe tonight is the night that he'll have something very positive happen to him.
Well, I think so. He, like I said, he wants to win. He does have that bulldog aggressiveness in himself, and let's hope he makes some good shots today.
All right, Pritz opens on lane 27.
He's playing a little deeper than the rest of the guys, or he's 3 or 4 boards deeper than Marshall.
Leaves a 2-pin. You might explain that. Does that mean he will use 5 steps? What is the difference there?
He takes a 5-step approach. His first step is very short. Spares no problem whatsoever.
Well, that's so important to get over the jitters and look at some very excited people.
Definitely. Joanne, his wife, and his little daughter, Amy.
All right, Marshall Holman. Does he intimidate people?
I think he does. I think it's his style. He's a very intimidating factor.
Well, he gets some action.
Got a little break there, Irv.
Yes, he did. It was not the best of shots for Marshall Holman. Gentleman who rolled a 238 in the first match starts off with a strike. Let's take a look.
Right, Irv, it looks like he gets the ball a little inside of target, maybe throws it a little bit slow. A little slow, the ball snaps in the back end, gets a nice break, tripping the 4. 2-pin hit the wall and tripped the 4-7 out to give him that strike.
Let's watch his reaction because he is fun to watch. I like people that get excited. And Marshall gets excited and he says, what is going on? He has 16 300 games in his career. He's off to the right start now. If he can get one tonight, he's worth 25 grand.
Oh.
That's tough. A 4-10 split. Is this makeable?
It's makeable. It's more makeable for a left-handed bowler than it is for a right-handed bowler, because the right-handed bowler, the ball is actually going away from the 4-pin. It should be coming into the 4-pin. Gives him a little more opportunity to make it.
All right. Jimmie Pritts trying to look like an undertaker, looking sad at a $10,000 funeral watching this shot.
I think Marshall just played it safe and got the 1.
All right, let's see if Pritts can take advantage of it. A +12 for Jimmie. Jimmie Pritts, interesting guy. He almost went to New Mexico Highlands to play baseball. Instead, he got very serious about bowling. Football, basketball, baseball in high school.
Loves the game. Good shot.
All right. So
taking advantage of that situation already, Irv.
Indeed he has. If you've just joined us, Holman open in the second. Pritts a spare and a strike up. Third frame action.
This is the big shot right here. He can go ahead by 22 with a strike here. Very important that he jumps on Marshall early. Good shot, Irv.
Looks good.
Shot.
Oh, comes off the sideboards. Gets that 7. He's got a double going. What was the story about him and Don Janello when Janello miscalculated? Do you remember that story? They were talking about this last night.
Right, it happened 2 years ago in Los Angeles. Don thought that he needed 2 strikes to win. He got the first strike. He left a Greek church, a 5 count. He just went up and threw it in the gutter, and Jimmie Pritts won the game by 1 pin. Don just miscalculated the spare.
All right.
Solid 9. Very good shot by Marshall. Had a bad break.
Marshall Holman has rolled 1 300 game this year. 12 years a PBA member. 18 titles.
Right, he's won $880,000 plus in his earnings. He's 3rd in the all-time leading money winners.
Well, right now he's down 22 to Jimmie Pritts Jr. and he needs to get something going. That's easy to say when you sit up here, but very, very true. Holman was perfect in his first match. Rolled a 238 with no opens and 7 strikes. Has an open now in the second. 4th frame with a spare going down 22.
Seems to be the toughest lane for all the players to hit right here. Good shot. Excellent. Good reaction.
Why did you make that comment?
Well, because when they
we'll pick up on that. Let's do this, though. We need to take a quick break. Down 22 is Marshall Holman. Can Jimmie Pritts keep it up? You stick with us. We're going to find out right after this message.
Hi, Red McElvain at Sahara Nissan. This is a Toyota truck. Cost $59.98. Nissan truck. Cost $59.99. It's $1 more. But look what that $1 will get you. As you can see, there's a big difference. Steel-belted radial tires, double-wall bed, 5-speed transmission, bigger payload. There'll never be a better time to buy a better truck. Only at Sahara Nissan, Sahara and Decatur, the people you can trust. Come in and let us stretch your dollar.
The 4 300 games is the total we have thus far this week. Looking for one tonight to be worth $25,000. Brad Bowling. Don't know what you know about him. A young lion from Thornton, Colorado. I've had a chance to watch him. Got a chance to really be good, Frank.
Very good bowler. He made the finals last week. Finished around 20th last week. He's an up-and-comer, no doubt about it. Don Janello, 300 game this week. He won this tournament last year. He made a little charge last night, just didn't quite have enough.
All right, so there's the story there. I want to remind everybody that ESPN renews America's love affair with the 1984 Summer Olympic Games for 16 consecutive days. Will bring you all the excitement, the thrills, the heroes who made headlines in Los Angeles. If you like seeing Mary Lou Retton before, you'll love it again. Be sure and join us. It all happens as the 1984 Summer Olympic Games comes to you, courtesy of ESPN. And right now, we'll see if Jimmie Pritts Jr. can keep his roll up. He's got a double going, Frank, fourth frame action.
Right, he increased his lead to 32 pins with a strike here. Put a lot of pressure on Marshall with a strike. Got a little right, got a little right.
Oh, great action. Outstanding. A three-bagger going for Pritz. He is up 32 going against Marshall Holman. And a lot of people will ask you, who is Jimmie Pritts? Career earnings of $146,000. We just mentioned what Marshall Holman has done.
I have a feeling you're going to hear a lot from Jimmie Pritts.
He just gets everything that's possible out of his ability.
There's no doubt it just shows that you don't have to have that perfect style or that perfect delivery to be a great bowler. And he's proven that to everyone today.
All right, he wants a re-rack. He's talking to Harry Golden, to Charlie Tapp In, a couple of gentlemen who do a great deal for the PBA. You're allowed 3 re-racks. Jimmie Pritts Jr., a down and in bowler, very likable.
Go up 42, big strike here.
4 in a row. Why was he refused that re-rack, Frank? Why was he turned down?
He waited too long to take that re-rack. What you have to do is, as you walk up to that lane, you have to ask for a re-rack immediately. He waited a little bit too long, took some time. That's why he was refused a re-rack.
Down 42. Holman in the 5th. Strike working.
Marshall made a good shot, got it wide. Oh.
That could be the one we look back at. A 4.67 to pick up. And once again, you made the point before, easier for a left-handed bowler. Holman is right-handed.
Definitely, Marshall's just going to go for the 2.
All right, so he picks up some count. Open in the 2nd and the 5th.
That just put Marshall down 54 pins. That was a very crucial shot there. He needed a strike desperately there.
He would need some help from Pritz. Pritz would have to stumble a little bit.
Definitely. What usually happens is after a commercial break, the bowler has to sit down. He has to wait that extra 3 or 4 minutes, which makes him throw it a little slower. Another good shot here.
Solid strike. This man will not quit. So Jimmie Pritts will have to come out and keep the pressure on, and he's been sensational. Frank, he opened with a spare. Since that time, it's been nothing but X's. He has 4 in a row.
He's been perfect since the first frame.
Action in the 6th frame. Irv Brown, Frank Ellenberg with you from Seattle.
He can put a lock on a match with a strike here.
Oh, smooth. 5 in a row. Little daughter likes it.
Amy loves it.
Joanne. Where's Jimmie?
Jimmie's just about a year old, and I don't think they wanted to bring him in here to yell for Daddy to win today.
Jimmie Pritts averaged 217 this week. Can he make it 6 in a row?
A little slow. Oh. Really got an unbelievable crossover strike.
Nice crossover. 6 in a row for this man, Jimmie Pritts Jr. Does Holman have a last hurrah? He's going to have to string together a bunch. Stick with us. We'll find out right after this message.
Yes, Wickelman, tell me about Topeka. One of my salesmen telling me how rough it is on the road. I ought to know that's how I started. Well, go get him. I also know he's staying at Howard Johnson, enjoying their executive section. Fine with me, because at Howard Johnson, he gets his extra comfort at a rate that lets me get a good night's rest. Yes, McConkie. Oh, talk to me about Tallahassee.
Howard Johnson Hotels and Lodges, a good deal and a good deal more.
Today's car engines work harder than ever. For the protection you need, look to the quality motor oils from Exxon. Protection against intense engine heat. Protection against punishing cold. Protection against grinding friction. For the protection that's just right for your car, look to the quality motor oils from Exxon. Quality you can count on.
ESPN and the Spirit of Excellence rekindle the flame of the '84 Summer Olympics. For 16 days, relive the pageantry and drama that captured the heart of America. Mary Lou Retton and a star-studded cast of Olympic hosts bring you the games through their eyes. Our Los Angeles experience focuses on major sports themes, previously unseen events, plus behind-the-scenes insights from America's biggest sports spectacle. The Spirit lives on, starting June 29th on ESPN.
Welcome back, and the study of a man who really must get something going, and he does. Some help. Down 74.
He must
Marshall
strike.
Holman.
Must strike on this shot.
That crossover that Pritz had in the 7th half. All right, let's see if he can
a little
string it
firmer
up.
this shot. Great shot.
Well, he knew as soon as he released it, didn't he?
Most definitely.
A double for Marshall Holman, down 64.
If he strikes in the 8th, he can cut the lead to 54 pins. He must get all these strikes. He must strike out from the 8th on to have a chance to win this match and hope something happens to Jimmie.
18 PBA titles. Marshall Holman. Big crowd favorite.
Another good shot, Irv. Another good shot.
Yes, and he has it. He has a 3-bagger, but he is going against Jimmie Pritts, who is on a 290 possibility. It's been sensational.
Jimmie's still he's in the driver's seat, no doubt about it. He's still 54 ahead. If he stays clean in this match without any opens, he will win the game.
Started out with a spare. Since then, it's all strikes.
A little slow.
Oh, good action.
Got a nice break, tripping the 4.
Oh, 2-8. He has 7 strikes. Jimmie Pritts Jr. Up 64. He is just a nice person. You can see why he would be voted the Steve Nagy Award. Very likable.
Very nice personality.
Can he get another one?
So a
little high that
3-6.
So the crowd appreciates that little run he had. 7 in a row.
Right, he's going along at a 250 pace right now, Irv. He spares in the 9th and then strikes spares in the 10th. He'll shoot 258.
And he's got it. So he's still perfect.
He is now the winner in the match. He's bowled 228, and the best Marshall Holman can get is 226. That spare gave him the win.
So we're just playing for a number here. Mike Durbin won $4,000, Frank. Marshall Holman, let me correct myself, will wind up 4th. That's worth $5,500.
Right, he threw the first shot with not much desire. He knew that he was out of it and didn't have a chance to win the game.
So this one is history. There is the winner of the 2nd match. We'll finish it up. Practicing to the right is Wayne Webb, getting ready to go against Jimmie Pritts.
Right, while we have a moment here, Irv, I'd like to wish Steve Cook's father the best, and he had a heart attack last week, and we want to wish him the best and a speedy recovery, and hope that we see Steve out on the tour very soon.
Well, let us all second that. Cook, one of the good bowlers on the PBA tour. Marshall Holman won his first match against Mike Durbin, but Jimmie Pritts just came out.
Marshall's just going through the motions right now.
Right. Jimmie Pritts has just been sensational. Marshall with the open in the 2nd and 5th frame, but I'm not sure that would have mattered the way Pritts bowled.
No, I don't think so either. Even the open in the 5th might have been a turning point, but he bowled 187 that game.
Crowd really loves this guy. There's a handshake. Let's see what Jimmie Pritts can wind up with. When you have something locked like he does and you're advancing now, is it very important here to keep that momentum?
I think so. You don't want to get lackadaisical and just start throwing the ball. You need to concentrate. Keep your mind on the game.
All right, a 2-4 is what is left for Jimmie Pritts Jr. His count is 236.
Spare and a strike would give him 256. Or no problem with the spare at all.
So it just boils down to what the number will be, 250 what for Jimmie Pritts Jr.
Bowled a very good game, and he had a nice break in the middle of that string, which kept the string alive.
If you're going to get one, I guess that's the time to get a spare. Marshall Holman shakes his hand, 251 to 187. There's our winner, and there's his family. A little payday coming. He's assured of $7,000. All right, coming up, we've got some bowling tips for you. You want to stick with us because Mike Durbin can help your game. All of that right after this message.
For everyone working to keep the customer satisfied.
This bud's for you. Nobody else can do the job the way you do. So here's to you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this bud's for you.
So you've always dreamed of having a beautiful, healthy-looking yard. Well, you can make that dream come true by investing in quality products from True Value Hardware stores. Get a clean, neat cut every time with the Lawn Chief 21-inch rear bagging mower. Transport heavy loads in this Green Thumb 4 cubic foot wheelbarrow. Cut overgrown grass down to size with a weed eater gas trimmer. And keep trees neat and trim with a Home Light gas chainsaw from participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers.
This is a shot that really hurt Marshall Holman, the open in the fifth, and I'll let you describe it, Frank.
Right, it was right after commercial. He got a little right at target, but he threw it very slow. That tends to happen after commercial. You sit down for a little bit too long, throw it a little slower, the ball really snap in the back end. Key shot in the match for him. Marshall was down just a few pins. That put him down by a bunch after that split in the fifth.
There's the story. I believe that's a 251. 187, Jimmie Pritts Jr., the winner. And that, next up for him, Wayne Webb. Let's take a look at what's coming up. We'll be at Earl Anthony's place in Dublin next week. That should be fun. The $125,000 Kessler Open.
They treat the bowlers very well there. Ted Hoffman, who runs the tournament, is having a nice golf tournament for the players tomorrow. And you'll see Wayne Webb. Everybody there will see Wayne Webb defending his title.
All right, and then we're in Las Vegas. Uh-oh, be careful. Lost wages, they call it. Mark Roth, we'll get a chance to see him. Marshall Holman, the defending champs. That'll be fun at the Showboat. They do a great job down there.
Definitely. They've won that tournament 3 times. They're going for the 4th unprecedented victory.
July 1st, a little different date that time. Normally we're on Wednesday. Southern California Open, July 10th. And the defending champ, we get a look at Gary Skidmore. That'll be fun.
Definitely. Gary's looking for his first title of the year there. He hasn't won since that tournament last year, and he's looking to get back in the winner's circle.
That's in Riverside. And then the Tucson Open, always fun to go down to Tucson, a town that really grew up after World War II. They're doing a sensational job down there. On Palombe will be our guy down at the Golden Pin Lane. So all of that action coming up, our next 4 events, Frank, should be fun. Let's find out how you choose the right ball, and who better to help you choose the right ball than Mike Durbin.
Experienced pro, ball selection can be a very important topic. Today we're going to look at 3 basic types of bowling balls. We're going to talk about what they do, we're going to talk about how they're used, and we're going to talk about their cost. The first one we want to look at is the old hard rubber bowling ball. This is a ball similar to the one that I used when I started out on the tour in 1967. And I used that particular ball the entire year. Never changed bowling balls once. In fact, it was very, very common in those days for bowlers to use just one ball for a long period of time. We didn't know the 8 and 9 bowling balls that bowlers have today just in the PBA paddock. This ball is generally very, very hard. It generally hooks very, very little. So it works pretty well when the lanes are real dry. You might want to try it then. It costs right around in the $60 range. it's relatively an inexpensive ball by today's standards. Next, we'll look at the plastic or the polyester ball. This became very, very popular in the 70s. Don Johnson used it, the plastic ball, and was winning tournaments left and right and made it very, very popular. Bowlers on the tour used it all through the 70s. It ranges in hardness from very soft to very hard, so it's a very versatile bowling ball. However, it's not quite as popular on the PBA Tour now as it was then. The cost of this ball is a little more expensive, right around in the high 60s. And finally, we'll look at the current rage within the PBA Tour and all of bowling, and that's the urethane bowling ball. Urethane bowling balls came out in 1981, and the idea behind them was that most of the finishes that we bowl on today are one form or another of urethane. So they made bowling ball of urethane also. When the two urethanes got together, there was friction, and this ball really grabs the lane, especially if you sand that track just a little bit, very lightly. But it generally hooks a lot. It really revs up at the back end of the lane, hits the pins hard, and the scores are higher, and that's why it's so popular today. And I would venture to say that the PBA Tour right now is about 95% urethane. The cost of this bowling ball, however, though, is greater. Most of them sell for over $100 up to $120. In conclusion, if you're a beginner bowler, you really don't need the more expensive ball. You can get that inexpensive ball and use it as you learn the fundamentals of the game and begin to improve. As that average goes up, though, you might want to try and increase it even more, and you can do that by buying the more expensive ball. Next week, we're going to look at the grip, and I'll see you then.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Coming up, got another good one for you. Jimmie Pritts Jr. going against Wayne Webb. Can Pritz keep it up? Will Wayne handle him? We'll find out. Stick with us.
The day Molly took her first steps, I was at a meeting. Now I don't go to meetings. I go down to meet the bus. I didn't give up a career. I just chose the right one for me.
You're the one we want to please. Cable gives the choice to you. The who, what, and when that's right for you.
Personal choice. That's what cable TV's about. It lets us decide what's important so we can grow together, and I like that.
Cable's right. 'Cause cable's not just more choice. It's your choice.
Welcome back. Irv Brown, Frank Ellenberg with you. And let me tell you about what's coming up next, Frank. ESPN's Auto Racing. And if cart's your thing, catch the Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix. It happens Sunday, July 7th, live at 12:30 Eastern. Don't miss our live coverage of NASCAR Summer 500 on July 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. Well, we've got some thrilling stuff coming up. You're going to love it. Hey, let's take a look at some of the other finishers and let you describe some of your friends.
Steve Martin there. We showed him earlier. He just missed the TV show by 7 pins. Rowdy Morrow bowling pretty good. Don Janela won here last year. Tommy Kreitz from Florida.
Saw him last week. I like him.
Right. Sam Zurich snapping out of that slump. Pete Weber's still bowling well. George Pappas, my old roommate.
Hey, how about Eddie Ressler? He only bowls here. It's just a few steps from his house.
Bowled great for years on tour. Lynn Ostermule, he told me he'd like to say hi to his wife, Holly.
And Ron Dixon, the 24th finisher. And that's important. You must cash.
That's
and
exactly
those people
right.
Cashed. We've got a good one coming up for you, as we mentioned. Outstanding action. Here's the prize money. What people are going for. $17,000 is the first prize money. And then you get a look at the store. We've already decided fourth. Marshall Holman, $5,500 richer. Mike Durbin picks up $4,000. The loser of this match between Webb and Pritz will receive $7,000. Top prize, $17,000.
I'd like to be sharing in some of that myself.
A couple of practice throws right here. I wanted to ask you as we watch them practice, Frank, Dennis Jacques is sitting down and he's waiting. He's had to wait a long time. I saw Mark Williams wait last week. He did not bowl effectively. Would you prefer to wait, or would you rather be, say, in a Pritz or Webb's position?
Well, it has to be the own person's prerogative. To me, I'd rather bowl one game for $17,000 than have to win 4 games for $17,000. The worst Dennis can make is $9,000, and he knows that. That takes a lot of the pressure off.
What about Wayne Webb? He's 5'5", 145, 27 years of age. A couple of New Englanders hooking up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Right. It's very ironic that Wayne Webb's older brother was a big inspiration in Jimmie coming out on tour. He helped him with his game.
Little crossover. And he leaves the 9-pin. In case you just joined us, in our first match, Marshall Holman rolled a 238 at Mike Durbin, Mike with a 199. Then Holman came out with a 187, but Jimmie Pritts Jr., the gentleman we're watching, had a 252 going for a spare.
Right, Jimmie has bowled 3 games on this pair. He's averaging 242 plus on this pair, which might be a factor in today's champion.
Wayne Webb, living in Indianapolis. We mentioned that they're both from New England. His dad, George, one of the better bowlers in New England, he just didn't have the opportunity to go out on the tour, but talking to some people that know George, just an outstanding bowler, and taught Wayne a great deal about the game.
Wayne's done the rest on his own. He's done very well.
Oh, the 10 is wiggling, and it will not drop. Wayne Webb, if I could describe him watching him last night, he does have the killer instinct. When he gets you down, he will keep you there.
There's no doubt about that, Ed.
Owns his own bowling center in Indianapolis.
Covers a spare, no problem.
He is a shot maker under pressure. A couple of spares, we've decided nothing. Pritz going against Webb. Pritz 252 in his last effort.
This is his 6th TV show appearance this year. Wayne is a very much a streak player. He could win this week, and if he does win this week many times, 2 or 3 times in his career, he's won twice.
I'll tell you what impresses me. Look at his shoulders for a small person. He is tremendously strong.
Very strong. He gets a lot of ball speed, too, and he stands only about 8 or 9 feet from the foul line, which is tremendous. He pulled out a little bit. Oh, nice break.
Look how excited he gets. I like that. Look at his shoulders.
You see his aggression. He's getting into the match early.
Jimmie Pritts, spare working in the 7th.
Jimmie needs a strike here to keep the match all even. A little bit high.
Oh, the 10 won't go down, so he does have the 310.
The odds on him making this are about 2 to 1.
Jimmie Pritts has earned $21,000 up to now. Wayne Webb, $100,000.
Good shot at it.
Yes.
No problem.
Very nice.
Nice conversion on that spare.
Very nice effort by Jimmie Pritts. Let's take a look.
He stands a little bit to the left side of the approach, throwing cross alley at it, hitting the 3-pin on the right-hand side. The ball deflects into the 10 to make the spare perfectly.
We were bowling on lanes 27 and 28 at Leilani. This is lane 27.
Good shot. Good shot.
Yep.
Excellent. Good result.
Yep. Excellent result. Webb is a +2, a strike working in the 3rd.
With this tournament, Wayne has just gone over $100,000 again, which will be the 4th time in his career, and actually 4 times in the last 6 years he's made over $100,000. His ultimate goal is to be bowler of the decade. Excellent shot.
Yes, and he has it. Question, the green machine. What does that come from, the nickname?
He got that. He always wears green, and he used to always use a green bowling ball. He started wearing green clothes and green shoes, and when he bowls, he's like a machine. So we call him the Green Machine.
Well, right now the machine has a double going in the 4th. Started out with a spare. He is a +12.
Shot, put him ahead by 22. Good shot, good shot. Solid 10.
I want to ask you, he does not use the left hand at all when he makes his approach. Most of the bowlers cradle the ball with the left hand underneath. He is just so strong, he holds the ball only in that right hand.
Right, I think what he tries to do, he tries to develop consistency, tries to develop somewhat of a pendulum swing, letting the ball swing his arm freely. Good shot at the 10.
And he's got it. All right, boy. That's 4 marks in a row for Webb. He leads Pritz by 11. Can Pritz come back? Well, stick around. We'll find out right after this message.
Dad, send the money by noon, or you won't be coming to my graduation in June.
Send the money today, or your father and I couldn't be washed away. Darling, I've run into a little trouble. Could you send $150 on the double?
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 9,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
That's okay. I'll get the door.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
You'll find savings worth celebrating. Big savings during CarQuest Auto Parts Store's really big 11th anniversary celebration. Big anniversary values like this personal AM/FM headphone stereo with dual volume controls, only $8.99. Or Rain Dance Car Wax, liquid or paste, guaranteed to last longer, just $1.99 after rebate. Save now during CarQuest's big 11th anniversary celebration.
CarQuest, the right place to buy auto parts.
Frank, I mentioned we're going to the Showboat for our bowling tournament. The Showboat also has some top-ranked boxing coming up. Sam Smith and Al Bernstein, Thursday, June 27th. Got some good matches. Roman George, Zach Hewitt will be involved. Walter Sims, Ron Hayes. One of the better shows, I think, on television. Top-ranked boxing. Check it out live Thursday, June 27th. Let's take a look at some of the people as we get a look
Sweet
at
Leilani.
Sweet Leilani. Look at this. Last 6 years, Tommy Hudson in 82, Dave Beckman, Marshall Holman from the Pacific Northwest. So those are the people who've had good success and good luck here at Leilani. It's interesting, Marshall Holman, who lost the last match, that is to this gentleman, said that he doesn't particularly bowl that well in this house, but he does have a win.
That shows how good he is and what a talent. Good shot by Jimmie.
Oh, he avoids a split as the 10 does drop. So the 7 pin is what is left for Jimmie Pritts.
Well, that's either a good break or a bad break, depending on how you look at it. He threw the ball very good. He hit the pocket. It was a good break that he didn't split, but it was a bad break that he didn't strike.
Down
good
11.
shot at the spare.
And he's got it.
Still minus 11 in the match.
He's superstitious. If he's got a string going, he sits in the same seat, does the same things. I've watched him. Extremely superstitious. Got a spare going.
Good shot. Good shot here. Excellent result.
So he strikes in the 5th.
Still down by 11 in the match.
Let's see what Wayne Webb can do. He's got a spare going. Action in the 5th frame.
Wayne also has a very impressive cash record. He's cashed in 13 out of 16 events bowled this year. It's tremendous. Unbelievable consistency. Got a little left to target.
Oh, yes.
Nice break flipping the 6.
He twists it. You know, he can throw a dead straight or twist it. That's what's impressed me about him. Just depends what he needs. Let's take a look.
Shot. Drops his shoulder a little bit. He gets it a little bit left to target. He's hitting about 12. He hit 15 on that one. Crosses over, gets the 3 pin to the wall, and trips that 6, and he loves it, believe me.
Here's a picture worth 1,000 words. He says, what do you think, folks? All right, back line.
See if he can take advantage of that strike. Good shot.
Oh, that's
does take advantage.
Great release that time. Everything was perfect.
Looks like he wants it awful bad, or looks like he wants it awful bad.
He is up 21. We have not had anyone thus far able to win 2 in a row.
Jimmie can cut the lead to 11 pins with a strike here. Important he doesn't let Wayne get way ahead of him. Good shot. No, ball hooked a little bit early on that one.
6-10 is what he must pick up. Down 21. Jimmie Pritts, he threw a 252. Marshall Holman
shaking his head a little bit. It seems like he's having a little bit of problems on this right lane. He's hit high a couple of times on this right lane.
So he marks in the 6th, still down 21. 7th frame action. The story.
Needs to find lane 28 to stay in this match.
The winner gets $17,000 tonight. $9,000 for second. Third, that'll be the loser of this match. Goes home with a check for $7,000. Oh, he's able to trip that out of there. Leaves the 7.
Right. Nice break there. He could have left a 5-7 split.
His count is 117 in the 6th with a spare working. He is down 22.
Be down 22 if he makes his spare, which shouldn't be a problem at all. Good shot on the spare.
So he gets it with a good release. All right. A double going for Wayne Webb. Can he make it a 3-bagger? Leading by 22. We'll find out right after this message.
This is the GOT 16-quart cooler. It's better insulated than any other cooler of its size. In the bottom, the sides, even on top. And because the GOT 16 is better insulated, it does a better job keeping things cold. The GOT 16, it's the colder cooler.
Hey, Bobby, toss me the flashlight. Here, catch.
One reason why a Durabin flashlight is so dependable is because it's so incredibly rugged. Another reason is it comes with Duracell batteries that'll work, even after lying around unused for 2 years.
I can't believe you threw that. You said toss me the flashlight.
Durabin from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
The total sports tradition continues Friday on ESPN. America's biggest participant sport is up first with a Budweiser Hall of Fame tournament. Then 2 USFL teams close out their 85 campaigns. Los Angeles and Orlando battle for a season-ending win live. Vintage football follows with the legend of the lonely end. Army's Bill Carpenter earned a special spot among the men who played the game. ESPN delivers bowling and football Friday.
Herb Brown, Frank Ellenberg back in Seattle. The winner of this match will go to the finals and take on Dennis Jacques. Right now, Wayne Webb is up 22, a double working in the 7th.
Could increase it to 32 with a strike here.
This is a great shot. This is one of my favorite shots in bowling. You'll see exactly what he sees.
Oh. They say, Irv, that's the true tap in bowling, the solid 8. True tap in bowling. That is an extremely bad break. Could have increased it to 32, and now it's 21 with a spare. Wayne has a very impressive TV record. He's 44-28. 43 TV appearances.
And he's got it, so he continues to be perfect. He is marked every time. Chuck Pierce, our scorekeeper, he cashed this week, and that's what it's all about.
The only place I cashed this week, Irv, was on the golf course. It wasn't here bowling.
Spare going for Webb. 8th frame action. He leads by 21 over Jimmie Pritts.
Good shot.
And a solid 10.
10 pin. He's been around the pocket every single ball. It's just a matter of making him fall. Very consistent. When he gets lined up on a pair of lanes, he's tremendous when he's lined up. Very tough to beat.
Leads by 20. This thing could get very interesting.
You have to beat Wayne because he won't beat himself.
He does have the killer instinct. Let's see what Jimmie Pritts can do. A spare going.
This is the lane that Jimmie has to conquer right here if he wants to win this match.
Jimmie has only the 2 strikes after rolling 7.
There's a sweet
It's Marshall
Amy.
Yep.
Good shot.
There wasn't any question about that, was it?
Excellent. If he can cut the lead to 10 pins with a strike here in the 9th.
Jimmie Pritts.
Very important shot. The key frame here. Key frame, this 9th frame.
Loves big-time wrestling. Probably likes a junkyard dog.
Hulk Hogan's my favorite.
All right. Big ball for Jimmie Pritts.
Big
strike
shot
going.
Got a little right, get a little right.
Needs some action, doesn't get it.
2-5. He knows, you can see the dejection on his face. Knew he needed that one.
Pritts got to this position by beating Marshall Holman 252 rather to 187. Holman had defeated Mike Durbin 238 to 199. Going for the spare.
Good shot on the spare.
So he's got it, and he marks in the 9th.
Wayne's ahead by 20 going into the 9th. He needs a strike here to keep his lead.
If Wayne Webb can keep this margin and wind up the winner, he will take on Dennis Jacques. That's worth $17,000. 9th frame, spare going.
Good shot.
Yes. Oh, he does it.
Little umbrella strike.
Up by 20. He's marked every frame. Jimmie Pritts has marked every frame too. The problem is Jimmie only has the 3 strikes.
Wayne just needs some pins on this ball. Oh, I'm sorry, he needs a mark. Needs a mark. Shut him out.
Solid 10.
Needs to make this spare. If he makes his spare, he is, the worst he can do is tie the match if he by chance threw it in the gutter on his next shot. Needs to make this spare. Good shot on the spare.
It's got to be 10.
Needs 1 pin. Needs 1 pin, Irv.
So unless the lights go out or we have something very unexpected happen, Wayne Webb is going to advance to play big Dennis Jacques. He's over there to our right warming up. I mean, he is big.
These guys are very good friends too, Dennis and Wayne. Very good friends. They bowled each other at the U.S. Open this year. Wayne was the victor in that match. Wayne will bowl him one more time for the title.
So he doesn't get the strike on the crossover, but the match will be his. Very, very steady performance by Wayne Webb. No opens. Jimmie Pritts did not bowl bad. Just had a tough time stringing those strikes together.
Bowled very good, Irv. In fact, the 2 games, he never had an open frame in the 2 games that he bowled. He just never could get anything going this game. Never had a double or...
Webb just about on his average. So Pritz gets the spare. 1 more ball.
196 with a strike.
Wayne Webb averaged 219 all week. A 216 in this particular game. Jimmie Pritts will wind up with 190-something.
195, Irv.
And he does a good job, and he'll have a check for $7,000 for his work this week. I think we'll hear a lot more of him.
Very aggressive player. He'll be back. You'll hear from Jimmie again.
Wayne Webb, he's waiting. He'll take, he's smiling. He's going to take on Dennis Jacques. There's the big fella. This is for $17,000. It happens right after this message.
When do you save L.A.?
I love parties. Big ones, small ones, I like them because I'm the life of the party. My idea of a good time is not sleeping with a lot of coats. I say L.A. at parties. It's a great-tasting premium beer from Anheuser-Busch with half the alcohol. Sometimes it's the perfect thing to say. So I can have fun and I won't end up sleeping with the coats.
Hi, George.
Nice coat. Might change my mind. Hi.
L.A., sometimes it's the perfect thing to say.
I love the rich, whole wheat goodness of Kellogg's Mini Wheats. But the delicious frosted side makes the rich kid in me open wide.
The nutritious shredded wheat helps keep me on my toes. But the little ballerina in me thinks the taste steals the show.
Kellogg's Mini Wheats, wholesome shredded wheat for the adult in you, great taste for the kid in you. So they're delicious and nutritious.
The whole grain wheat really packs a crunch, but the delicious taste gives it just the right punch.
What do you call a charcoal that doesn't need lighter fluid? Convenient.
Matchlight charcoal. What could be more convenient?
Television's best sports are on ESPN tomorrow. Speed Week leads off with a fast-paced half hour of auto racing highlights from around the world. Thursday night boxing is up next. You'll see a fantastic Superbout, plus live coverage of the ESPN Soloflex Heavyweight Championship. All tomorrow.
Columbia 300 knows that all bowlers are not created equal. That's why Columbia 300 has spent years in research, just to have the right bowling ball for you. If you need less weight, the light dot. Bowl on drier lanes, the white dot. The perfect all-round ball, the world-famous yellow dot. And if you're ready for urethane, the Columbia 300 U-Dot is your ultimate weapon. Columbia 300, sold only in lanes and pro shops.
Wayne Webb advances to the championship game, defeats Jimmie Pritts Jr. And there's a story, 216 to 195. So he will take on Dennis Jacques, and that will be for the $17,000. We've got another stop next week, the Kessler Open. We'll have the action for you live, 8 p.m. Eastern, and it should be very, very interesting. Pete Weber will be there. Mike Albee, we saw him last week in Denver. He was the winner. Mike Durbin finished 4th at the Kessler Open a year ago. And Steve Cook, hopefully he'll be able to be back. Larry Love, who has done some scoring for us, Hall of Famer. Should be interesting. Once again, join us next Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Little practice action, and look at the size of Dennis Jacques. He just dominated this week.
No doubt. He led by 500 this week, Irv, which was... That's tremendous when you lead a tournament by that much, when you have the caliber of player that you have on tour. He had the right shot. He's got the right hand release. He took advantage of every situation.
This big fella played a little football down at Arizona State for Darrell Rogers. Then he went strictly bowling. What's interesting, in high school, he was good enough to be offered scholarships to North Carolina and Rider, a couple of schools with excellent tradition. So he is a good athlete. He's big. We mentioned at the top that a percentage of this check, if he is to win, will go to multiple sclerosis. He got married, what, about a week ago?
No, he got married earlier in the year in Las Vegas. His lovely wife, Kendall, you'll see her later in the match. He met her in Waukegan, Illinois.
We will be in Waukegan, too.
Definitely will in 5 or 6 more weeks.
You know what amazes me about Dennis? A week ago, he couldn't make it as a rabbit, and comes out here, just totally dominates. He's had a great week. Let's pick up the action and watch him and let you describe his form from behind.
Strong player. Brings the ball back with a little bit of muscle. Look at that hand wrapped around the ball. Huge hand. Look at the hand action, the point of release. Unbelievable. Lots of revs. Big strike ball. Could be an exciting final match, Irv.
Oh, yes, there's the traditional handshake. I've got the feeling that Jacques can muscle and use his strength through any conditions. He really takes up a lot of area out there, and the lanes have just been perfect for him.
He creates his own area with his hand release. Gets his hand wrapped around the ball. Good shot.
Look at him back out.
Good shot. Messenger pin.
Oh, look at the reaction, will you?
He's excited. He wants this bad. He wants this tournament bad.
Remember that messenger pin, because you might look back at that. Let you describe it here.
Watch this ball. Unbelievable drive on this shot. Head pin goes to the sideboard. Hits another pin in the rack. Gets the 10. Unbelievable. That is what I call a big strike ball.
Oh, a little high for Wayne Webb, who rolled a 216 at Jimmie Pritts.
All right, Wayne just pulled it just a little bit.
3.610 is what he's shooting for here.
Went high. It's important he doesn't let Dennis get ahead of him in the match. I want to fight from behind when Dennis wants this win as bad as he wants it. Good shot on the spare.
Good job. Picks up the 3.610. Wayne Webb started bowling when he was 3 years old. His parents started him. How old were you?
When I started bowling, I was about 9.
In Arizona?
No, my dad was in the service. It was in Los Angeles, as a matter of fact.
All right, spare going for Webb. Second frame action.
Big shot here. Needs to stay in the mat.
Solid 10.
Definitely doesn't want Dennis to get too far ahead.
If history repeats, nobody tonight has won 2 in a row. Holman beat Durbin. Pritz beat Holman. Webb beat Pritz. If we stay with it, Jacques will win.
Good shot on the spare.
Had a chance to talk to Dennis Jacques, and I asked him how it affected him waiting to bowl someone who has so many titles going for him.
Well, it'd be prestigious to beat one of them for the title here. Really, I'm not looking at who I'm going to bowl as much as what I'm going to bowl. I'm going to just come out here and I'm going to attack the lanes. Whoever I'm bowling against, I don't think they're going to have a chance today.
Well, you heard him. He says it doesn't matter who I bowl, it's how I bowl, and he's got a double going. Boy, does he get excited as he jumped to the right.
Really wants to win this batter. He really does.
You could hurt yourself jumping like that.
I want him jumping on me like that. This could put him up 21 pins with a strike here. He'd be perfect through 3 with a strike.
Great spin.
Good shot.
Great spin. That's a big, strong man. Frank, you realize if he wins this match, he will make half as much money as he has earned all of 1985. 1985, he has earned $31,000. Last year, he earned 27. He can pick up 17 with this payday, and he's got a triple going. All right, this is Wayne Webb. Spare going in the 3rd.
Wayne's got to get something going now. 4, 6, 7. Looks like he's having problems on that right lane, just like Jimmie Pritts did.
Tough spare for a right-hander to pick up.
Virtually impossible.
Oh!
Put him down by 35 with that.
Wayne Webb is the kind of a guy, though, that will make a hard run at you.
Believe me, he's not out of the match yet. He always finds a way. Needs to get something going now.
A little high. So a 6-pin is what is between Wayne Webb and picking up his spare, open in the 3rd, going against Jacques, who has a 3-bagger working.
Should be an easy conversion.
And he's got it. So he marks in the 4th. But he's in serious trouble because Dennis Jacques is perfect. This big guy is on the way to $25,000 if he can strike out. 3 in a row. Can he make it 4? Stick with us. We'll find out.
You think it's hot outside? You haven't seen the hot prices on used cars at Jim Marsh, and you won't have to worry about the heat in this cool car. It's an 82 Chevy Camaro, automatic with air, power steering, tilt wheel, cruise control, custom wheels, 2-tone paint, not $7,000 or $8,000, but only $64.88. Could make this the coolest summer you've ever had. We continue to prove if we can offer you a better deal, we don't expect your business. So call now. 457-8033 or come on over to Jim Marsh, Eastern off Sahara.
My students think I'm stubborn, over-demanding, and that's putting it politely. They know they've got to do it right or not at all. But that's why they signed up for this class.
You're the one we want to please. Cable gives the choice to you, the who.
right and when it's right for you.
Cable TV challenges me, keeps me thinking, and it lets us share a few good moments together. That's something we all deserve.
Cable's right. 'Cause cable's not just more choice, it's your choice.
Prize money. That's what everybody's shooting for. We've already decided the bottom three. Mike Durbin has earned $4,000. Marshall Holman, $5,500. Jimmie Pritts Jr., $7,000. So the $26,000 left will be divided up between the two gentlemen involved right now, Dennis Jacques and Wayne Webb. 17 for first, 9 for second. ESPN renews America's love affair with the 1984 Summer Olympic Games. For 16 consecutive days, we'll bring you all the excitement, the thrills, the heroes who made headlines in Los Angeles. You'll see Mary Lou Retton, Edwin Moses, Greg Louganis, and many other athletes in their medal-winning performances, plus the color and pageantry of the opening and closing ceremonies, gymnastics, track and field, boxing, swimming, diving, and much more when ESPN presents the Spirit of Excellence. The 1984 Los Angeles Olympic Games is coming your way in July. And this is the month of June, and right now, Dennis Jacques leads by 35.
Can increase it to 45 with a strike here. It's perfect through 3. Another good shot. 45 ahead.
Don't you just love to see him pick up $25,000? He's got 4 in a row going. You know, Frank, it's interesting. You talk to Dennis, and he will tell you that the guy he owes so much to is Lupe Rufino, back in his hometown. Really helped him refine the game. And I think every time you talk to a pro, they owe something to one particular person.
Right. Everybody owes something to somebody when you're out on the tour. There's always somebody that's helped you get started.
Going for 5.
Good shot.
Oh, it's become automatic. You talk about zoned in.
Putting the match away early. Putting the match away early.
Can he pick up $25,000 courtesy of True Value? He could. He has got the great spin going. True Value will award anyone on our telecast $25,000 for a 300K. Wayne Webb, spare going, 5th round.
He needs to strike right now.
A little high.
7 problems. He can't get lined up.
6 pin.
Looks like history will repeat itself the way it's going now. Nobody's going to win 2 matches in a row.
Wayne Webb is down 55, trying to mark in the 5th. The way this big guy is bowling, though, Jacques, I'm not sure anything would matter. He has been perfect. All right, there's the pickup. Down 56 pins. Wayne Webb. It's a blitz thus far.
He has to strike now. He has to strike. He can't wait any longer. The match is very close to being over. Can't seem to get lined up, Irv.
Does he have his concentration now, or is that wavered because of the 5?
It doesn't seem that he's got the same concentration he had in the last match. He doesn't have that same drive. Looks different.
So Wayne Webb is able to pick it up. He's already earned $100,000 this year.
He'll still be 3rd in earnings, with earnings in excess of $109,000, even with the 2nd place finish here.
Interesting fact, Frank. Dennis Jacques rolled the lowest score on TV ever, 157, the day he beat Sam Zurich. That was in the Molson Challenge, if I remember right.
He won that tournament 2 years ago. He's not going to win with 157 today.
Let's see if he gets 6. Nice run, and the crowd appreciates it. 5 in a row.
Good shot. Good shot.
Remember that messenger pin back in the first frame.
Right. He can feel it. He knows there's only 4 more frames left.
Going for the 4 pin.
Good shot.
So he marks. His count is 139 through 5. A spare working.
He's in the driver's seat, Irv.
Leads by 56, going for $17,000. Leilani Lanes, Seattle, Washington. It's been beautiful up here. The weather has been warm.
Best weather we've ever had here. It always rains 2 or 3 days while we're here during the week. It's just been great this week. Another good shot, solid 10.
So after a run of 5 in a row, Suddenly, things have changed a little bit. He's still very much in command.
I think he can smell the victory. Wayne's still not out of it yet. He can strike the game out.
How about that? Did that change some things? Well, we will find out, because now the lead is 44. Can Wayne Webb take advantage? We will find out. Stick with us.
The concept. The Budweiser International Race of Champions. The challenge. 12 of the world's best drivers from kart, Formula One, NASCAR, and endurance road racing. The cars. 12 identically prepared Camaro Z28s. The competition. 4 races, 4 tracks, 1 winner. Get ready for the ultimate championship. The Budweiser International Race of Champions.
Some people would rather put up with dandruff than use a dander shampoo. I guess they think they're too harsh. A shampoo should care for hair. Mine does. It's special self-balancing formula sends dandruff protection only where I need it. On my scalp, not on my hair. And it gently conditions where it's needed. Leaves my hair soft, healthy looking. My shampoo? Yeah, it's a dander shampoo. But it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
The total sports tradition continues on ESPN Thursday. Speed Week sets the pace with television's most relied on motor sports report. Next, Superbouts takes you back to the Aaron Pryor Alexis Arguello Jr. welterweight title fight of '82. It was a knockout. Then the live main event. Undefeated Jesse Ferguson and Tony Anthony fight for the ESPN Soloflex heavyweight title, plus 2 more tournament bouts. The day's best sports actions right here, Thursday.
Behind every good man, there's a good woman. And recently married, is Kendall Jacques. Right now, her husband has a commanding lead, 44 pins. Had a little problem with this one, Frank.
Right, it looks like he opens his shoulders a little bit. Got a little sideways at the line. Just seemed to have lost it off his hand a little bit. Maybe the lane's a little slicker, left part of the lane, than he thought.
Look at
Wasn't very happy.
I'm not sure I'd like to make this guy mad.
Yay.
All right, let's see what Wayne Webb can do. He is down 44. Does he have a shot here?
Yes, he definitely does. If he can start striking now, his possibilities, he can still shoot 223. Dennis is going at a 227 pace. Not lined up at all in the lane. Can't seem to figure the lanes out at all.
That really does become a problem where they have oiled him down. You alluded to the fact that the hot lights for television, it can make a difference.
Definitely, they can change from game to game, and it's evident with the scores.
Picks up the 3-pin, down 45, Wayne Webb.
All Wayne can hope for now is just to make a couple of good shots and then hope that something happens to Dennis. Still has a possible 212 if he strikes out. Good shot there. Good shot.
And he leaves a 7.
Quite enough.
A little frustrated look at Wayne Webb. He's down 46.
Never missed the pocket the last game, and he's had a hard time hitting the pocket this game. No, he has not.
He has not had a strike, as we were mentioning. So it's been a tough roll this time for Wayne Webb. Opening the 3rd, all spares.
Commanding leader.
Jacques has 5 strikes, the spare, and 1 open.
Another good shot.
Oh, the strength of Dennis Jacques. Great shot. That's a way to bounce back after missing the 10-pin.
The match is just about all but over.
Isn't that amazing how Wayne Webb was so good with the 216 against Jimmie Pritts, and he just has not been able to find it this match.
Seems to get it together.
Working on a strike, comes in high, gets a break as the 7 drops.
3, 6, 9, 10. Very tough spare. Tough spare because of the 9-pin in the back.
Jacques leads by 46.
Good shot on the spare.
Oh, and he drives through the 9-pin to pick it up. His count is 187, a spare working in the 9th. Kendall Jacques.
If he does not strike on this ball, Irv, he is the loser. He is the loser if he doesn't strike on this ball.
Does not have one this game. And he gets one. He says, what happened? Wayne Webb. He's good with the crowd, isn't he? He waves the white flag. And Jacques finally smiled.
Wayne is a possible 201 if he strikes out in the 10th. If he strikes out in the 10th, all that Dennis would need is 3 pins on 1 ball. He would be the winner.
I think Wayne Webb knows, but he's going to hang in there. Still has to strike, doesn't he? Let's thank some people. Harry Golden is here. Harry Smith, Phil Ferguson, Johnny Campus, Chuck Pisano.
Pretty good shot.
Very good. Bud Fisher, Joe Antonora, the commissioner of the PBA, people who make it so much easier for us. Mac Lowry, we'll talk to him hopefully in a little bit. The owner of Leilani Lanes.
Fantastic host every year. Great host.
All right, so Wayne Webb, he could not buy one through 8 frames, rolls 4 in a row.
Dennis needs 3 pins on this first ball to be the winner in the match.
And really what put it away was those 5 straight. He just went out and got it done.
Second victory. No more rabbit squats for Dennis.
Look at him throw those hands up in the air. He's got it. He is the winner. $17,000.
Back into the Firestone with that one. Very happy player. His wife looks to be crying.
Well, she can buy a new outfit. Hi.
Dennis Bull, a very good game. Very good game. 227 and 226 with a spare. 227 with a spare.
He did a great job. Acknowledges the crowd. They're standing here. They like it. His wife comes up and gives him a kiss and a hug. He's just been married a short time. She says, "Is it always this easy, honey?"
Sure looked easy today.
Dennis Jacques, our winner. We'll be back to talk to him and some other folks. There's a happy lady. Stick with us.
Hey, Bobby, toss me the flashlight.
Here, catch.
One reason why a Durbin flashlight is so dependable is because it's so incredibly rugged. Another reason is it comes with Duracell batteries that'll work, even after lying around unused for 2 years.
I can't believe you threw that.
You said toss me the flashlight.
Durbin from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
ESPN's July delivers another month of total sports excitement. Our Olympic stars keep the Los Angeles Summer Games spirit of excellence alive with their unique look at America's biggest sports spectacle. And July showcases future Olympians during 10 days of live coverage from the USOC's National Sports Festival. We're the #1 network for golf with first and second round British Open play, the Canadian Open, and the LPGA Mazda Hall of Fame Classic, all live. July means television's biggest live auto racing lineup featuring the French and British Grand Prix, plus NASCAR's Summer 500 and CART's Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix. July promises a visit to Cooperstown for baseball's Hall of Fame induction ceremonies and live bowling coverage along the PBA Tour Trail. There's more golf coming at the 85 Women's U.S. Open, live top-ranked boxing tournament action, and U.S. Pro Championships tennis. All in July from the #1 innovators in sports broadcasting, ESPN.
What do you call a charcoal that doesn't need lighter fluid? Convenient.
Matchlight charcoal. What could be more convenient?
Saturday, ESPN, home of the most extensive golf coverage on television, hits the links for live third-round play at the LPGA Mayflower Classic. The top women on the tour have their sights set on a share of the $250,000 purse. Find out who takes the lead live Saturday.
Well, I've got a happy guy with me, Dennis Jacques. You just came out 5 in a row. The first frame, you had a little messenger pin. I think that might have been a little message right there.
Oh, definitely. They've been falling for me all week, and when I said in the papers earlier, if I had a little luck with me today, and that first shot sure proved it.
You're going to give a little of the money to charity.
Oh, definitely. That's the way I feel. We have to get involved in cystic fibrosis is for a child's disease, and I like children very much, and I just want to help out a little bit.
You know, you went out and you're going against a guy who I think is an excellent bowler in Wayne Webb, but 5 in a row, that kind of breaks anybody's will.
Oh, a little bit, especially when Wayne was having a little trouble getting lined up right away, and that's sometimes when the matches are won and losses in the very beginning. If you can come out firing, like I said I was going to do, and the person has a little trouble, then you get yourself a little confidence booster, and it all worked out fine.
All right, I think we've got something for you. McLeod, if you'd come on in here, we've got maybe one of the better-looking trophies going. Mac, beside that trophy, I think you've got something else for this big fella.
Well, we sure have. We're proud, Dennis, to welcome you to our champion circle. You did a great job all week. This is a Leilani Princess Tiki, and it is written someplace that this assures great wealth. And to get it started, we'd like to give you about $17,000.
I noticed you gave it to his wife, though. Mac, thank you very much. Jenny, thank you very much. Well, I guess you can spend that immediately. I noticed you were crying before. This might take the tears away.
Oh, it will help a little.
All right, Denny. Once again, congratulations to you. You did an outstanding job, and we'll see you next week. You can rest for a couple of days, and then you got to get after him again.
Oh, definitely. Hopefully I'll see everybody again next week. I'd like to thank everybody here, Mac Lowry, and everybody at Leilani Lanes that were behind me all week, and I hope to do it again next year for you.
All right, let's give him a big hand, huh? Did he do a job? Outstanding job. Thank you very much. Okay, Frank, you have a final comment on the performance tonight?
I just want to say that Dennis led the tournament by 500 pins. He showed his ability on the TV show today, bowled fantastic, bowled a great game the last game, and I think it's just fantastic that he's sending some of that money that he won this week to cystic fibrosis. That's tremendous.
All right, so that's the story here. An outstanding job by Dennis Jacques, as he just does an outstanding job, and he is the winner here in Seattle, Washington. This event has been brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores. We've got what it takes. For Frank Ellenberg, this is Herb Brown. Thanks for joining us.